I'd like to show you how to do one of these typography portraits. And first, I just wanted to show you some examples of some really excellent examples. And the way that I would like you to do it is not worry about color, just uh, use Adobe Illustrator and typography in a very simple sense by just using black, white, and gray. But there are some beautiful examples of these done in color. But for our purposes, I just want you to learn how to do typography and some things in Illustrator by just using black, white, and grayscale. This one's real nice. I want you to also use information about yourself that is that relates to you, things that you like, things that you believe in. That'll make it a lot more interesting. A lot of these professional ones and college student ones, they put information that relates to the person that they're describing. I'd really like you guys to try to push yourselves to try to do some of this work that looks like these, and they're all different. This one's done with a lot of typography that's just straight on a horizontal line, and they just rotate it, and it's all straight lines, big curves. This one's done with big text and some special effects with a little Gaussian blur. Okay, let's go ahead and get started. The programs that we're going to need is Photoshop, Illustrator, and we'll also need Photo Booth, so you can take a photo of yourself. So you can look at these, and if you just look up typography portraits, you can see lots of examples all over the internet. Here's one of my favorite ones. I show this one every year. Okay, so let's go ahead and get started. First, we'll start with a photo booth, and we need to get a portrait of ourselves. So you can kind of position yourself to get a look that you want. And glasses sometimes looks real nice, so I'm going to take mine with glasses. Pretty good smile might help. Got a little glare on my glasses, so I might try another one here. I still got a little glare on my glasses, but I think I'm going to live with one of those. If you want to maybe try sunglasses so you can look really cool. And maybe I'll try that one with the sunglasses here. So we want to take this image, and you want to go to Export, and you can export to your folder that you've been keeping all your stuff in. I'm going to go to my GDI folder. You can always click these little triangle down drops so you can see more where you're going to go. And I'm going to make sure to make a folder here called Typography Self-Portrait, and I'm going to drop this image in here. TSP source, and it is a JPEG. I'm going to go ahead and close out Photo Booth, and now what I'm going to do is go into Photoshop, and I'm going to open up that file. So hopefully I was saving it in a place where I knew where it was, and I did. I'm going to open up this. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go to Mode, change it to Grayscale. I don't want to worry about color, so you just go to Image, Mode, and then Grayscale, and hit. I'll undo this so I can just show you again with the hit. Image, Mode, Grayscale, and it will say, do you want to discard the color information? And I want to discard it. Next thing I want to do is I want to use the crop tool. And I'm going to crop it to the size of a normal piece of paper, letter size. 8.5. by 11. So there's a pretty good crop, and I don't really need any of that stuff in the background, so I'm going to crop it right about there. I wish I had a little bit more of my collar and my shirt in there, and I'm also going to consider the rule of thirds when cropping this. This little grid right here on your crop tool is the rule of thirds crop. So something like that, and I'm going to press enter to crop it. And oh yeah, the new crop tool, you have to just switch tools here, and then it'll say crop, it'll say yes. So now there's an 8.5 by 11 black and white version. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go save as, and I will save it as the TSP source, but instead of a JPEG, I want to overwrite my JPEG. I'm going to go ahead and change it to a Photoshop document, which is a PSD, Photoshop document. Okay, so we have our type self-portrait, source, and a Photoshop file, and it is grayscale. I could show you some more Photoshop stuff, but right now we're going to concentrate on Adobe Illustrator. So at this point, I'm going to go ahead and close this out, minimize Photoshop, and then go to Illustrator here. So Illustrator, we'll open it up. We'll go to File, New. We want to make sure that this is letter size, and 8.5 by 11. We want to make it a portrait orientation, and for now just one artboard. There we go. And now we need to go File, Place. We're going to go to the TSP folder that we created and go to our TSP source, and it did not drop in the way that it should. So I'm going to delete this, and I'm going to go back to Photoshop, and I'm going to figure out why it's not dropping in at 8.5 by 11. So let's open the source here, and I'm going to go to image size, and take a look at it here. And for some reason, it did not crop to 8.5 by 11 like I expected. So let me just type in 8.5 right here by 11. And let me just see. It will scale it up a little bit. Normally you wouldn't do that, but this is okay. We're not even going to use this. We're not even going to use this picture except for as a reference. So this is just a reference picture. Now I'm going to hit save again. Let's see if that worked. So we'll go here, File, Place, and there's my TSP source, and I'm going to place it. There we go. And if you remember with the typography assignment, I want you to go to your layers, and you're going to lock this layer, and you're going to call this one source. So this will be your art source, and you can eyeball on and off like that, and then you're going to create a new layer, and you're going to call this my typography, and that gets you started. And depending on what you want to do for your first step, I'll show you that here on the next video. Let's go ahead and save this one. And what you want to do is call this one, using your naming convention, I'm going to put in 0 since I really don't have a period. And we'll just call this TSP. Make sure it's an Adobe Illustrator file. You don't want to use PDF until you're done. That would be the last thing that you would do, is make it a PDF. Keep it an Illustrator file until it's complete. I'm going to hit save. Right here I'll just hit OK, and it is saved for now. And